Do you want to annihilate the battlefield with an endless barrage of explosions, while benefiting from infinite healing, huge weapon damage, and most importantly, looking cool while you do it? What is going on, Guardians? Dwarverich here, and in this video I will be showcasing a gunslinger build that takes advantage of the recent buffs to become the most spectacularly explosive hunter build Destiny has ever seen. Between non-stop restoration, a constant 46% buff to our weapon damage, and an insane amount of ignitions, our enemies stand no chance against our fiery rampage. The core of this build is a devastating loop that begins with our melee ability, Proximity Explosive Knife. This is essentially a mini trip mine, and on its own it doesn't do anything amazing. But through our aspects, fragments, and exotic armor piece, we turn this knife into a spammable nuke. The loop begins with the Ember of Torches fragment, which will give us and our teammates the Radiant buff for 8 seconds upon hitting an enemy with our throwing knife. Being Radiant gives a 25% buff to weapon damage, which is quite strong on its own, but this also has a powerful interaction with the next piece of the combo, the Knock 'em Down aspect. Knock 'em Down enhances our super, but more importantly it gives us a full melee ability refund whenever we get a kill with our throwing knife. This creates a loop where our knife makes us radiant through Ember of Torches, then Knock 'em Down sees that we're radiant and instantly refunds the knife, allowing us to throw it infinitely. The final enhancement for our knife and the source of our infinite nukes is our exotic armor piece, Caliban's Hand. Caliban's Hand makes our proximity knife apply Scorch on impact and cause an ignition whenever it lands a kill, and since we have infinite throwing knives, this means infinite ignitions as long as we keep scoring knife kills. Our ability to cause ignitions doesn't stop there. Our second aspect is the newly buffed Gunpowder Gamble, which gives us a grenade override ability that charges up from kills and then readies a throwable explosive. When shot out of the air, or after 3 seconds, this explosive will detonate and cause an ignition. Gunpowder Gamble takes a total of 6 stacks to charge, with weapon kills giving us 1 stack, Scorch and Ignition kills giving 3, and direct ability kills giving 4. With the amount of ignition knives we throw out, this will be ready to go almost immediately whenever it comes off its 6-second cooldown. Another benefit of Gunpowder Gamble is that it allows us to essentially run 2 different grenades, with the improvised explosive acting as our second grenade. For this reason, we're using the Healing Grenade as our regular grenade ability, which will give us and our teammates a burst heal and 4 seconds of restoration. This gives us a lot of versatility in our grenade ability, with the capacity to use it as both an offensive and defensive tool. The rest of our fragments take our damage and survivability to the next level, starting with Ember of Empyrean. Ember of Empyrean extends the timer on both our restoration and radiant buffs by 4 seconds, up to 12 seconds every time we get a solar kill, which allows us to extend the restoration from our healing grenade indefinitely. It enables extremely aggressive play. Ember of Eruption expands the radius of our ignitions from 8 meters to 12 meters, allowing them to cover over twice as much area. Our last fragment is Ember of Singeing, which gives us a 300% boost to our dodge recharge for 3 seconds after applying Scorch. While this does not directly make our loop stronger, it provides a valuable safety net for when we miss a knife kill. And no matter how careful we are, this will sometimes happen, especially when playing with teammates. With Ember of Singeing, we can ensure that Gambler's dodge is always up when we want it, so we can use it to refund the missed knife and restart the loop. Our mod package is designed to help our grenade uptime and give us even more weapon damage. Our first mod, Heavy Handed, creates an orb on melee kill. We are aiming to get lots of knife kills, so we will be making lots of orbs this way. We also have Reaper to create an orb on the next weapon kill after dodging, and Harmonic Siphon to create an orb on solar weapon double kills. All these orb generators provide plenty of orbs to feed our armor charge stacks, which are consumed by double solar weapon surge for a 17% damage buff to our solar weapons. When combined with Radiant's near constant 25% damage buff, we end up with a 46% damage buff in total. Time Dilation extends the lifetime of our armor charge stacks from 10 seconds to 15 seconds, making it easier to keep solar weapon surge active all the time. To help us get our grenade back faster, We have Innervation to turn our orb pickups into a chunk of grenade energy, Bomber to give us grenade energy when we dodge, and Impact Induction to give us grenade energy when we hit with our knife. Since our melee and dodge already come back extremely quickly by themselves, we focus our mods on grenade regeneration so that we are seldom without a panic button. Even with permanent restoration through Ember of Empyrean, the burst heal from the healing grenade's cure effect can still save our life, or we can throw it to bail a teammate out of a bad position. With the amount of melee kills we get, it would be a waste not to use hands-on for more super energy from melee kills. And finally, the Harmonic Loader mod gives us significantly faster reloads for our solar weapons. Fill in the rest of the mod slots with the necessary damage resists, ammo finders, and stat mods. For stats, prioritize Resilience first for damage reduction, followed by Discipline for higher healing grenade uptime, and finally Mobility for a faster dodge cooldown. But as always, the other mods take priority. If you run low on mod space, dropping down a stat tier is a much smaller sacrifice than giving up a mod that actively does something. As for weapons, solar weapons are the name of the game, because Ember of Empyrean and by extension our survivability rely on solar kills. Anything with the Incandescent perk has especially strong synergy with the build. A notable exotic standout is the Conditional Finality Shotgun from the Root of Nightmares raid. Although it occupies the kinetic slot and is listed as a stasis weapon, kills with either the freeze shot or the ignition shot will count as solar kills and activate Ember of Empyrean. Since melees do significantly more damage to frozen targets, the freeze shot is an excellent way to prep tankier enemies for a knife kill, and the ignition shot benefits from our solar fragments. The ability rotation for the build is simple. Throw a healing grenade at your feet to kick off restoration, throw your knife at a weak enemy to become radiant and cause an ignition, then with Ember of Empyrean activated and your buffs online, go on a fiery rampage until everything is dead. Knife the weak enemies to turn them into nukes, use Gunpowder Gamble when it's available, and keep chaining kills to maintain your radiant and restoration buffs. This build is at its best when played aggressively, shrugging off incoming chip damage and turning the battlefield into a magnificent explosive inferno. Drop a like if you found this video helpful or entertaining, subscribe if you want to see more like it, and feel free to ask any questions you have in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one, Guardians.